Howdy folks, and welcome back to the Slow Dusk channel, your home of classic Western cinema. Today we're taking a trip back in time to the 1930s, a pivotal decade for the Western genre. This was an era of transition as Hollywood moved from the silent era to the age of sound, and the Western evolved from simple B-movies to more complex and ambitious productions. The 1930s saw the rise of singing cowboys, the emergence of iconic stars like John Wayne, and the release of several films that would lay the groundwork for the golden age of Westerns. It was a time of innovation and experimentation, with filmmakers pushing the boundaries of what a Western could be. In this video, we'll be counting down the 10 best Western movies of the 1930s. These are the films that defined the decade, showcasing the genre's growing maturity and enduring appeal. So saddle up and join us as we explore these iconic and influential films from 1930s Western cinema. In 10th place, we have Raoul Walsh's epic 1930 film, The Big Trail. This film is a landmark in Western cinema for several reasons. It was one of the first widescreen epics, shot in a revolutionary 70mm format, which gave it a sense of scale and spectacle that was unprecedented for its time. It also marked the first leading role for a young actor named Marion Morrison, who would soon become the legendary John Wayne. The Big Trail tells the story of a group of pioneers on a perilous journey along the Oregon Trail. Wayne plays Breck Coleman, a young trapper who becomes the wagon train scout, seeking justice for the murder of a friend. The film is a sprawling adventure filled with breathtaking landscapes, thrilling action sequences, and a real sense of the hardships faced by early American settlers. Despite its ambitious scope and technical innovations, The Big Trail was a box office failure, largely because most theaters were not equipped to handle the widescreen format. However, its influence on the Western genre is undeniable. It set a new standard for epic storytelling and showcased the raw talent of John Wayne, who, even at this early stage in his career, possessed a natural charisma and screen presence. For its historical significance, its grand scale, and for giving us our first glimpse of a future icon, The Big Trail earns its place as one of the most important Westerns of the 1930s. In 9th place, we have Cecil B. DeMille's 1936 biographical Western, The Plainsman. This film is a classic example of the Hollywood historical epic, blending real-life figures with a fictionalized narrative. It tells the story of Wild Bill Hickok, Calamity Jane, and Buffalo Bill Cody, three legendary figures of the American West, as they cross paths and become embroiled in a conflict with Cheyenne warriors. Gary Cooper stars as Wild Bill Hickok, bringing his signature quiet dignity and understated charm to the role. Jean Arthur is a revelation as Calamity Jane, portraying her as a tough, independent woman who is more than a match for the men around her. Their on-screen chemistry is one of the film's greatest strengths, adding a layer of romance and humor to the epic adventure. DeMille's direction is grand and spectacular, with massive battle scenes and stunning location photography. He was a master of the Hollywood epic, and The Plainsman is a prime example of his showmanship. The film is a thrilling ride full of action, romance, and larger-than-life characters. While it may not be historically accurate, The Plainsman is a highly entertaining and influential Western that helped to solidify the romanticized image of the Old West in the popular imagination. In 8th place, we have Michael Curtis's 1939 action-packed Western, Dodge City. This film is a quintessential example of the classic Hollywood Western, starring the swashbuckling Errol Flynn as Wade Hatton, a cattleman who reluctantly becomes the sheriff of the lawless town of Dodge City. The film is a thrilling tale of one man's fight to bring order to a town overrun by corruption and violence. Flynn is perfectly cast as the charismatic and heroic Hatton, bringing his trademark athleticism and charm to the role. He's a man of action, quick with his fists and his guns, but he also possesses a strong moral compass that guides his actions. Olivia de Havilland co-stars as Abby Irving, a feisty and independent woman who initially clashes with Hatton, but eventually comes to admire and support him. Dodge City is a fast-paced and exciting film, filled with spectacular barroom brawls, thrilling stagecoach chases, and a climactic cattle stampede that is still impressive today. Director Michael Curtis, who would go on to direct Casablanca, keeps the action moving at a breakneck pace, never letting up on the excitement. The film is also notable for its use of Technicolor, which brings the vibrant and chaotic world of Dodge City to life. The rich colors and stunning cinematography make the film a visual feast, and it helped to establish the look and feel of the classic Hollywood Western. For its thrilling action, charismatic performances, and stunning visuals, Dodge City is a standout Western of the 1930s. In 7th place, we have Henry King's 1939 biographical Western, Jesse James. This film tells the story of the legendary outlaw Jesse James, played by Tyrone Power, and his brother Frank, played by Henry Fonda. It portrays the James brothers as sympathetic figures, driven to a life of crime by the injustices of the railroad companies. Power and Fonda deliver powerful performances as the James brothers, capturing their charisma, their loyalty to each other, and their tragic descent into violence. The film presents them as folk heroes, men who were forced into a life of crime by circumstances beyond their control. This romanticized portrayal of outlaws was a common theme in 1930s Westerns, and Jesse James is one of the best examples of this trend. The film is beautifully shot in Technicolor, with stunning location photography that captures the beauty of the American West. The action sequences are thrilling and well-staged, and the film has a sense of epic scale that was typical of the big-budget Westerns of the era. Jesse James was a huge box office success, and it helped to solidify the Western as a major Hollywood genre. The film's sympathetic portrayal of outlaws was controversial at the time, but it resonated with audiences who were struggling through the Great Depression. For its powerful performances, its stunning visuals, and its influential portrayal of one of America's most famous outlaws, Jesse James is a classic Western of the 1930s. In 6th place, we have George Marshall's 1939 classic, Destry Rides Again. This film is a unique blend of Western, comedy, and musical, and it's a film that defies easy categorization. James Stewart stars as Tom Destry Jr., the son of a famous lawman who is sent to clean up the lawless town of Bottleneck. However, Destry is not your typical Western hero. He refuses to carry a gun, preferring to use his wits and his charm to solve problems. Marlene Dietrich delivers an iconic performance as Frenchie, a tough and cynical saloon singer who initially scoffs at Destry's unconventional methods, but eventually falls for his charm. Her performance of the song "See What the Boys in the Back Room Will Have" is one of the most memorable musical numbers in Western cinema. Destry Rides Again is a witty and sophisticated film that subverts many of the conventions of the Western genre. It's a film that celebrates the power of reason and diplomacy over violence, and it does so with a light and humorous touch. The chemistry between Stewart and Dietrich is electric, and their on-screen romance is one of the film's greatest strengths. The film was a huge critical and commercial success, and it helped to establish James Stewart as a major Hollywood star. It also revitalized Marlene Dietrich's career, which had been in a slump. Destry Rides Again is a timeless classic that is as fresh and entertaining today as it was in 1939. In 5th place, we have Lloyd Bacon's 1939 film, The Oklahoma Kid. This film is a classic example of the singing cowboy western, starring James Cagney in a rare western role, alongside Humphrey Bogart as the villain. Cagney plays Jim Kincaid, a gunslinger known as the Oklahoma Kid who returns to his hometown to find it under the thumb of a ruthless saloon owner, Whip McCord, played by Bogart. Cagney, known for his gangster roles, brings a unique energy to the western genre. He's quick-witted, fast with a gun, and even sings a few songs, showcasing his surprising versatility. His performance as the Oklahoma Kid is both tough and charming, making him a compelling hero. Bogart, on the other hand, is perfectly cast as the sneering, treacherous villain, adding a layer of menace to the proceedings. The Oklahoma Kid is a fast-paced and entertaining film, filled with thrilling shootouts, daring escapes, and a strong sense of justice. The dynamic between Cagney and Bogart is a highlight, as their characters are constantly at odds, leading to tense confrontations and memorable dialogue. The film also features a strong supporting cast and a well-crafted plot that keeps the audience engaged. While it might not be as widely recognized as some other westerns of the era, The Oklahoma Kid is a solid and enjoyable entry that demonstrates the breadth of the genre in the 1930s. In 4th place, we have Wesley Ruggles' 1931 epic, Cimarron. This film is a sprawling saga that tells the story of the Oklahoma land rush of 1889 and the subsequent development of the town of Osage. It follows the lives of Yancey Cravat, a charismatic and adventurous pioneer, and his wife Sabra, who is more practical and down-to-earth. Cimarron was a massive production for its time, with a huge cast, elaborate sets, and a spectacular recreation of the land rush. The film is a visual feast, with stunning cinematography and a real sense of epic scale. It's a film that captures the excitement, the chaos, and the hardships of the American frontier. The film was a huge critical and commercial success, and it won the Academy Award for Best Picture, becoming the first Western to do so. It was a landmark achievement for the genre, and it helped to legitimize the Western as a serious art form. While some aspects of the film may seem dated today, its epic scope, its powerful performances, and its historical significance make it a must-see for any fan of the Western genre. In third place, we have James W. Horne's 1937 comedy classic, Way Out West. This film stars the legendary comedy duo of Laurel and Hardy as two bumbling prospectors who travel to the town of Brushwood Gulch to deliver the deed to a gold mine to the daughter of a deceased friend. However, they are tricked by a crooked saloon owner, and they must use their wits to get the deed back. Way Out West is a hilarious and charming film that is filled with classic Laurel and Hardy gags. The duo's on-screen chemistry is perfect, and their physical comedy is as funny today as it was in 1937. While it may not be a traditional Western, Way Out West is a beloved classic that has been enjoyed by audiences for generations. It's a film that celebrates the power of friendship and the triumph of the underdog, and it does so with a light and humorous touch. It's a film that proves that Westerns can be funny, and it's a film that is sure to put a smile on your face. In second place, we have Cecil B. DeMille's 1939 epic, Union Pacific. This film tells the story of the construction of the first transcontinental railroad, focusing on the rivalry between the Union Pacific and Central Pacific Railroads. Joel McCrea stars as Jeff Butler, a troubleshooter for the Union Pacific who must contend with saboteurs, outlaws, and the harsh realities of the American frontier. Union Pacific is a grand and spectacular film, with massive action sequences, stunning location photography, and a real sense of epic scale. DeMille was a master of the Hollywood epic, and Union Pacific is one of his greatest achievements. The film is a thrilling ride, full of action, romance, and larger-than-life characters. The film was a huge box office success, and it won the first ever Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival. It was a landmark achievement for the Western genre, and it helped to solidify the Western as a major Hollywood genre. The film's classic story, its powerful performances, and its iconic moments make it a timeless classic that is still enjoyed by audiences today. And finally, at number 1, we have John Ford's 1939 masterpiece, Stagecoach. This film is widely considered to be one of the greatest Westerns ever made, and it's a film that revolutionized the genre. It tells the story of a group of strangers who are traveling together on a stagecoach through dangerous Apache territory. Stagecoach is a character-driven film, and it's the interactions between the passengers that make the film so compelling. The film features an all-star cast, including Claire Trevor, John Carradine, and Thomas Mitchell, who won an Academy Award for his performance as the drunken Doc Boone. The film is also notable for its star-making performance from John Wayne as the Ringo Kid, an outlaw who is seeking revenge on the men who killed his family. Wayne's performance is iconic, and it established him as a major Hollywood star. His entrance in the film, a close-up on his face as he twirls a rifle, is one of the most famous shots in cinema history. Stagecoach was a huge critical and commercial success, and it was nominated for 7 Academy Awards, winning 2. It was a landmark achievement for the Western genre, and it helped to elevate the Western from a B-movie genre to a serious art form. The film's classic story, its powerful performances, and its iconic moments make it a timeless classic that is still enjoyed by audiences today. And there you have it, 10 of the best Western movies of the 1930s. From the epic scale of The Big Trail to the character-driven drama of Stagecoach, these films showcase the diversity and the enduring appeal of the Western genre. The 1930s was a decade of transition for the Western, and these films reflect the changing tastes of audiences and the growing ambitions of filmmakers. They are films that celebrate the legends of the frontier, the courage of the pioneers, and the enduring spirit of the American West. Which 1930s Western is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next journey into the heart of Western cinema. Until next time, this is Slow Dusk, signing off.